All right, all right, all right. Hello, everybody. Again, Fazgaz here. Don't forget to please like and subscribe, share with your neighbor, even share it with your dog. I mean, everyone has a cell phone now. It really doesn't matter. Don't forget to take your hands, put them in the little, like grab like you're grabbing an ice cream cone, put it under the desk, and yes. Okay, I'm just kidding. But anyways, today I'm going to try something new. I've been requested to try doing these guides for you guys. You guys know I pretty much will tank with anything. I do play meta and I play off meta. I play whatever, but I specialize in bear and I have for a while. You know, people say it's really easy, but there's a lot of mistakes you can make with it, and I will try to cover that here today. So today I'm going to try going over. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. We're going to go talents, all your items and trinkets, which at least your stats anyway, not every individual item. Covenants, conduits, and soul binds, Legos, and your rotation. However, this is basically for Mythic Plus only, as I don't raid much. I do love Mythic Plus though. I've been pretty high IO, especially in season 1. I got to 2800 here in season 4, but I do plan on I don't know if I'm going to push much more. But anyways, I do want to share my knowledge with you guys and hopefully help you guys out. I love you, and let's get into it. All right, guys, let's jump right into talents, what I think is the most important here. All right, so if we look at the beginning, first, we're going to go tree by tree here. We're going to talk about it for a few seconds and move on. All right, so the trap I see a lot of bears do is I inspect and I see brambles. Now, if you take this talent, you won't be doing that much more damage, but you will be dying fast and you will feel it. Okay. Blood Frenzy is the way to go all day, every day. Now, this is going to change in Dragonflight. Probably all these talents will be way different. But for now and until Dragonflight, I'm going to help you guys out here. Blood Frenzy, very, very important. It does it gives you rage and you can spam Iron for more. And it gives you rage on your ticks of your Thrash too. Very important, very important. So always take Blood Frenzy. Second tree is kind of your pick. You can take anything here, really. I wouldn't suggest Tiger's Dash, but I would suggest Wild Charge or Renewal. Both great options. Great options. I usually Wild Charge because I end up wanting to, kite more, and I wanted to be ahead and do funky things, so I end up taking that. Another thing I see a lot of people do is you take Resto Affinity. Do not do this in Mythic Plus. It is not good, and it's not that great. You want balance. Typhoon, amazing. It's an interrupt. Not only that, but this 3-yard range that you get on the Balance Affinity, in fucking insane, okay? Don't discredit that. That 3 yards adds so much damage you don't even realize it. You probably don't realize it. But yes, that 3 yards adds a lot of damage and helps you out tremendously. Take it, take it, take it. And you can even go Alkin form and put Sunfire on things sometimes. All right, next one we got here is between Heart of the Wild, Mass Entanglement, and Mighty Bash. Now, I would not suggest Heart of the Wild unless you're Night Fae and you're convoking. You Heart of the Wild convoke. But Night Fae's not very good right now. I would always stick with Venthyr. We'll get into that. On this one, you want Mass Entanglement or Mighty Bash. Both have their unique uses. I love Mass Entanglement because it's a way to get away if I need to, kite. I just Mass Entangle and it gives me that just a little bit of breathing room to get away when I want to kite. Mighty Bash still amazing for an interrupt on certain mobs. Still great. On this tree, you got Galactic Guardian, Soul of Forest, Incarn. Incarn all the way. Do not take anything else. You'll be gimping yourself. You'll be just, bending over, backwards, forward, sorry. And then who knows what will be behind you if you take anything besides Incarn. Next tree, another trap here. I see people take Survival of the Fittest. Trap, don't do it. Survival of the Fittest is not that good. It reads good, and you think it reads well with your 2-piece, but your survivability goes down the tubes if you take this. Your damage might slightly go up. Survivability goes down the tubes, so that means your damage really doesn't go up that much. Earth Warden is safe, and it's where it's at, okay? You have no idea how much this actually helps, especially when you start getting high haste and you're able to spam Thrash. Oh my Jerusalem, this really helps. And then on the last row, this isn't even, you don't even look at the other two. They're just so bad. They're okay in Raid, but in Mythic Plus, we want Rend and Tear. Absolutely. 6% more damage, take 6% less damage. We golf clap that. That's an amazing talent. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the talents, guys. It's pretty straight cut and dry. You'll want this for pretty much all Mythic Plus. All right, guys, when it comes to what covenant you pick, and soul binds and conduits, let me tell you what, I've tested a lot of them, and I'll tell you what, Kyrion's not that great. I know some of you look at Raider IO and stuff, and you'll see a bear pushing with Kyrion on high. You see a Kyrion bear pushing pretty high. It's not that great. It has its uniqueness, and it's okay, but the damage will not be as good as Venthyr Bear, no matter what, okay? I can't think of a scenario, and I played a lot of Kyrion Bear, a lot of Venthyr Bear, and a lot of Night Fae Bear, and I'll tell you, I still feel the tankiest in Venthyr. And I still feel like I can do the most damage in Venthyr, and that's why you're going to see upwards of more than 80% of bears playing Venthyr. As far as the conduits go, I'm just going to put it on the screen. You guys can see it. This is pretty much what you'll take. Everyone should take this. There's no deviating from this. There's no like, maybe I'll use this because of that. No, just use what you see here. You want well-honed instincts. You want endless thirst, tough as bark, innate resolve, unchecked aggression, and layered mane. Now, when you're using Draven, you can get 4 Endurance Conduits. This is why most people use Draven, because of 4 Endurance Conduits. That makes you really tanky, and it feels really good to be that tanky, especially as a bear, because you're really not that tanky. So any extra tankiness you can get, you should get chef's kiss the shit out of that. You know what I mean? Like I said, yeah, there's no other soulbind really. If you look at Theotar and Najila, it's just, or Nadia. Gosh, I can't pronounce that name. It's just not as good. There's just no way. Just no way. All right, moving on. We'll talk about legendaries now. Now, legendaries are very simple for a bear. Obviously, you run your Unity. You can use 2 legendaries. We all know this. And you're going to use Ursoc's Fury Remembered. Again, for Mythic Plus, there is no other option. You're going to use Ursoc's Fury Remembered. It's been that way the whole expansion, and you really can't deviate from it. The tankiness it provides you is insane, as well as the damage it provides you. Again, I put it on my cloak. You also can put it on your legs, but you should put it on your cloak. The reason you want to put it on your cloak is the stat weight for a cloak is less, and you can get an item level higher on your leg. So please do your best to keep it on your cloak. The Unity, obviously, you can put it anywhere. Most people put it on their neck, rings, bracers, belt, something like that. So it'll keep it nice, and you keep your stats nice and well. As far as Legos go, I'm sorry, but those are the only 2 you're going to use. There's just no other option for any other Legos. All right, now getting into the stat weight of a Guardian Druid. Basically, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, guys. It is haste verse. Verse and then haste. You want as much verse as you can get, followed by haste. It's very, very, very simple. The other stats are going to be low because you're primarily seeking haste and verse. So, for instance, your critical strike is going to be pretty low, and your mastery is going to be pretty low. It's just how it's going to be. They're going to be probably under 300, under 200, maybe even under 100. But as long as your haste and verse is high, that's what you want. You need them as high as you can get them. The second thing is going to be trinkets, right? Trinkets are also massively important. Okay, if you're pushing keys and you don't feel tanky enough, whether that comes through your ability or your item level, whatever that may be, I would suggest running 2 defensive trinkets. I would suggest running Codex and Reactive Defense Matrix. Now, if you don't have access to Reactive Defense Matrix because you don't raid, that's fine. There's other trinkets out there like Thunder Towers Targeting Reticle. Maybe that one will work for you. Or another one I experimented with is one called Inescapable Dread. I was pushing keys with this. It's very underrated. People don't use it a lot. It doesn't do much damage, but it does make you pretty tanky. Believe it or not, it makes you pretty damn tanky to certain bosses, especially most of the bosses in what is it, streets. A lot of them just keep right clicking you, so it helps you out a lot in certain keys, especially if you're just interested in only damage. If you've never seen this cache trinket, I mean cache of acquired treasures. I don't know why I always want to say cache, because it has an E on it. Of course we all want to say it, we just don't. It's really hard not to. Anyways, if you use that trinket, you want to make sure it's on the axe, okay? You can get a weak aura. I'll put it in the comments, or not in the comments. I'll put it in the the description of this video. Yes, I'll put it in there, and you can grab it, and then you can use it. Now, it's very important that you use it when you use Zerk, and you need to activate the trinket when it's on axe, okay? It has to be a separate. You can't macro it in because you could fuck it up easy. You have to have it on a separate hotkey, just so you guys know. I'll make sure I covered all the bases here. Also, some items may not have haste verse, okay? So for instance, my boots do not have haste verse because there are no haste verse boots as far as I know. And then maybe they're in raid and I just haven't got them, but I haven't looked for them either. So as long as you have major verse and then another secondary stat, doesn't matter. Just search for verse. That's what you need. All right. Yeah. All right, guys, how's it going? Please get your hands off from under the desk. Let's be serious now. All right, when it comes to Mythic Plus and you're going into a poll, obviously the most common thing you're going to have up on poll is going to be Barkskin. That's amazing with your 2-piece. Don't forget that. You're going to want, most you should know about your, 4-piece. They were this late in the season. If you, read that if you need to. Casting Barkskin causes you to go to Berserk for 4 seconds, which means you could spam Iron Fur and Thrash and Iron Fur, yes. Okay? Very important. That'll be your basic cooldown. Use it every time you can because the amount of Iron Fur you can get off just those 4 seconds makes you super tanky, not to mention the Thrash shield, okay? So when we go on pull, Barkskin, Thrash and Iron Fur, Thrash and Iron Fur, Thrash and Iron Fur. You can macro this. Some people do. I do not. So look at that. That has made us really tanky. We got 3 stacks of Iron Fur through the whole thing, and we got a big fat Thrash shield. You should be very much immune while you do that, and for about 2-3 seconds afterwards, depending on the size of the pool, okay? Next, the basic rotation is make sure you're mangling as much as you can and thrashing. Some people don't mangle, and this gives you a lot of rage. And a lot of rage equals more Iron Furs, which makes you more tanky. So never forget to mangle, and don't spam swipe. Swipe gives you no rage. It looks great, yay, great, we're swiping, we're doing damage to everything. But you need this mangle to get you rage, okay? And make sure you're thrashing, because thrashing will also give you a shit ton of rage. So you want to thrash is the most important, followed by mangle, and then swipe. This is, I think, what people are forgetting. Mangle is very important. Very important. It gives you more rage to be more tanky, okay? That's pretty much the basic rotation. Again, if you're out of cooldowns, if you see yourself dying even with all this up, you have to use your SIs, Same thing on pull. If you don't have anything, no Barkskin, don't be afraid to walk in and use SI. Let's say this is a pull of 4. You can pop SI on pull, and you can just walk in. Start thrashing, doing your rotation. Mangle, thrash, swipe, mangle proc, hit mangle, make sure you're iron furring, mangle. Again, if you feel you're taking too much damage, bears can always kite, right? You see this Typhoon, and then we hop away. We can always kite. We can mass and tangle them. We can run away and mass them. Look at that. You can mass them while you're running. It gives you just a little bit of breathing room. Another thing I want to point out to you guys is very important. I told you I'd tell you about this. Watch this. Watch this. See this balance affinity increases the range of everything by 3 yards? Look at this mob over here. Just look at it real quick. That's not hitting it. That's not hitting it, but if I get a little closer, that's hitting it. Look how far away I am from this fucker, and he's getting hit by swipe. The range on that is absolutely insane, right? And then he'll obviously get hit by thrash, too. That's a huge range. Look where I'm standing. How is he getting hit by swipe over there? Well, that's because it's a good talent. You always want... Now, let's switch talents real quick. Let me get out of combat, and I will show you how bad this is if you switch over here. Now, we're going to go this, and then we're going to go here. Now, same place, right? We're not hitting it. Still not hitting it. There we are. We have to be much closer to hit that fucker. And we're not hitting this guy over here, so we got to go over here. I wonder if I can even hit all 4. Look at that. Can I? No, I can't hit this one either. I'm having trouble hitting all of them. Now I got to be really close to hit all of them. And that's why we don't run that. That's why you don't run this. This is no good. The healing from it is negligible. Always run Alophane. Plus, if you ever need to, you can go Owl and hit them with a Sunfire. Look at that. See that 3 mobs affected by Sunfire? Okay. Very important. That's pretty much your basic rotation, guys. I mean, if you know Zerk rotation, we all know the Zerk rotation. I mean, I'll go out of combat here, and I'll reset this, and I'll show you what damage I can do to 4 mobs. But other than that, like, you guys, that's it. It's very simple. You have to understand when you need to kite, though, and I think that's what most people fail at. I will come out with another video to show if I can show you the best way to do that. So I'm going to pop Zerk here. See the damage here now. Zerk and Iron Fur, and then I'm going to pop this Cash Trinket. I mean, your damage is going to be through the roof. I mean, for 30 seconds, you're going to be hovering at, whatever this goes to. I mean, this is only 4 mobs. Imagine if you had more, because this shit's technically uncapped, so it could go higher and higher and higher. But when I'm Zerked here, you don't need to worry about dying here. Look at the damage. It's going up to 69k, 70k, 72k, 73k. This is only on 4 mobs, okay? Do I even have a flask on? Okay, at least I have a flask on. See, there you go. And usually the mobs are dead by this point. But that's only with 4 mobs, right? And that's with the Cash Trinket, though. I mean, this is a trinket you use for damage. This is not for tanking. This is purely for damage. I don't suggest this beyond like a 21, 22 key, unless you know how to play with it very well and you have a team that's willing to let you kite and stuff, and a healer that knows you're going to take extra damage on bosses. Other than that, I wouldn't play with it. I would go extra tanky. I would definitely go here to Codex. Or Thunder Tower, one of the two. Codex for sure, though. again, that's pretty much what you guys want to do on pull. Another thing, another big thing people don't do is, you see this ability called Frenzy Regen down here? One thing you guys don't do enough is use it. I notice when I watch other bears, they don't use it. If you're sitting at 70% health, just use it. Just fucking send it. There's no reason to hold it. It's such a short cooldown, 28-second recharge, and whenever you bark skin, it goes down to a 4-second recharge. Watch this. I'm going to use both instances. Look at this. Now it's on cooldown. Watch what happens when I bark skin. Look at that. Did you see that basically reset down there? Did you watch that? Pretty much reset the cooldown of it, and you bark skin all the time, and same with your Zerg. So you're gonna have charges of it. You know, you can't be afraid to use your buttons, guys. Don't be afraid to use them. You also don't want to just spam them, but you want to not be afraid to use them. Don't try to save them. Please just try to use them. Again, we'll go through this one more time, guys. Basic rotation: thrash, mangle, swipe. And you want to make sure you use Thrash on cooldown, Mangle on cooldown. You can throw swipes in between. And I'll always spam Iron Fur. I'm not doing it right here because I'm so focused on making sure that, you know, I'm doing the rotation right for you guys. But you want to spam Iron Fur like it's no one's business. A lot of people have it macro to their Thrash, which is fine. That means you'll always be Iron Furring, which is fine. Very rarely are you going to Maul. Maul is your Rage Dump that's not Iron Fur. Very rarely are you going to use that because it just doesn't do as much damage. Yeah, it does good damage, but it's not as good as you'd think, okay? It's better to be tanky with that Iron Fur than to try to get that little bit of damage in with that ability. Plus, it's on the GCD, so it's not really that good. Okay. Next, when you're doing single target, I haven't brought this up. Let's go with single target. Another big problem I see with single target is, well, multi-target too, but the biggest problem I see with single target, you want to keep your Moonfire up, okay? Moonfire up at all times, okay? That's another thing people don't do. See that? I can see my Moonfire. I'm always going to keep it up there. I'll refresh it every so often. When you're pulling mobs and they're not see you yet, you can always Moonfire them, right? There's nothing wrong with doing this, and then you go into the pool, and now you're doing this. You're just doing so much damage when you get those Moonfires out there. You guys don't understand how much damage these Moonfires do. It's actually fucking insane. I think that's all for the rotation. If you have any questions, please ask. But other than that, here, I'll go let you guys see my gear. But other than that, like, that's the basic rotation. There's really nothing else to it. You know, I love the shit out of you guys, and I'm just going to go ahead and end the video here. If I missed something, please let me know in my Discord or in these comments. I am trying to get better at these videos. Again, don't be afraid to share too. I would love feedback. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not going to get mad at anybody. I want to get better at doing this. I want to get better at providing this for you. I play all tanks. If you guys want to see my opinion on all tanks, again, I push pretty high keys. The highest I've done on this bear is, what, a 25 this season? I don't know. Let's check. Yeah, I did a 25 streets on this guy. Where is it? Yeah, I timed a 25 streets on Fortified on this bear. So, I can tell you, I know a little bit. You know, I'm not the fucking bee's knees. I'm not the best motherfucker, but I know a little bit. And just so you guys know, I love every single one of you. I would take all of you out to eat, then take you to the bathroom afterwards, and then take you into the bedroom, and we could just watch Titanic all night. We don't have to get wild with it. Just watch some Titanic. Make sure the popcorn's really buttery so that it slips around when we get... You know what? I'm getting a little too into it. I love you guys. Have a great day, and like I said, give me any feedback you can, and don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Mwah!